Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a field that's all about putting your best foot forward.
Public relations.
You want to know what it takes to break into the PR world and become a public relations manager? The skills, the challenges, the triumphs.
And we're diving into some fascinating insights from RoleCatcher, a platform designed to navigate the modern job market.
To help you unlock your PR potential.
And it's not just about finding any job, it's about understanding the landscape, playing to your strengths, and even using AI to your advantage.
RoleCatcher has some really interesting things to say about that. Okay, so let's unpack this. RoleCatcher seems to have three main areas we'll explore.
Career guides, interview prep, and something called RoleCatcher Copilot AI.
Now imagine having an insider's roadmap for the public relations manager role.
That's precisely what the career guides offer. They provide a detailed look at the responsibilities you'd have at each level of the career ladder, from junior assistant all the way up to senior manager. No more guessing what skills you'd need to climb that ladder.
Okay, that's helpful. No more wondering what it takes to move up in the world of PR. And they even have examples of real people in these roles.
Absolutely. It's like having a mentor right there in the guide, showing you the ropes. They've got these snapshots of PR professionals at different stages, giving you a real-world feel for what the job entails.
Now that's what I call learning from the best. But let's be real, landing a PR job can feel like navigating a minefield of tough questions. That's where RoleCatcher's interview prep comes in, right?
Exactly. Imagine having access to the inside scoop on what hiring managers are really asking in PR interviews. RoleCatcher has analyzed thousands of interview questions. We're talking a database of over 120,000, all tailored to specific careers and skills. We're going to break down some of the key patterns you need to know to nail those responses.
Wait, 120,000 questions. That's a lot of questions. They must have every possible scenario covered.
Pretty much. But here's where it gets really interesting. They don't just throw questions at you. They offer AI-powered practice tools to help you craft the perfect responses.
So instead of just memorizing generic answers, you can actually practice showcasing your unique experience and expertise.
Precisely. You can even record your answers and get AI-driven feedback. And here's the kicker. You can tailor your responses to the specific requirements of each job you apply for. It's all about demonstrating you're the best fit for that role, not just ticking boxes on an application.
That's a game changer. But what about this whole AI thing? It feels like every industry is buzzing about it these days.
It is. And for good reason. RoleCatcher's take on this is fascinating. They have this feature called RoleCatcher Copilot AI.
Okay, I've been wondering about that. Sounds pretty high-tech. What exactly is RoleCatcher Copilot AI?
Think of it as having an AI career coach in your corner. It takes all the data they have, job descriptions, your CV, your application responses, and uses it to give you a competitive edge.
Hold on, so it's not just giving you generic advice, it's actually analyzing the specific job you're applying for and tailoring its recommendations accordingly.
That's right. For example, say you're applying for a PR manager position that requires experience in crisis communication. RoleCatcher Copilot AI will analyze your CV and application materials. If it detects a potential weakness in that area, it'll flag it for you and suggest ways to strengthen your profile.
That's incredibly helpful. It's like having an extra set of eyes, scrutinizing your application, ensuring you're putting your best foot forward.
Exactly. It's like having a secret weapon in your job search arsenal. But let's dive into the nitty-gritty of what it really takes to be a public relations manager. RoleCatcher's guide goes deep into the day-to-day of this role.
Give me the inside scoop.
This role is all about shaping and maintaining the desired image of a client. Whether it's a company, an individual, or even a governmental institution, you're the architect of their public perception.
So it's not just about writing press releases, it's about strategic communication across various channels.
Absolutely. You're crafting the narrative, you're building relationships with key stakeholders, you're organizing events. It's a dynamic blend of creativity and strategy.
It sounds like a PR manager needs to be a master communicator, a strategic thinker, and a master networker, all rolled into one. What does the guide say about the work environment?
The guide mentions that PR professionals typically work in office settings, but remote work and on-site events are also common. They highlight that while the work is generally comfortable in terms of physical demands, it can be quite demanding and fast-paced, often requiring work outside of standard business hours.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
In the world of PR, things don't always go as planned, right? You've got to be ready to adapt and think on your feet. Now let's talk about career trajectory. What does RoleCatcher say about climbing the PR ladder?
They've laid out a clear path, starting with entry-level positions like junior public relations assistant and moving all the way up to senior public relations manager. And here's the best part. They break down the typical responsibilities at each level, giving you a tangible sense of career progression.
That's incredibly helpful for setting realistic expectations.
Yeah.
But do they give any concrete examples of what these roles look like in action?
They do. For each career stage, they profile a hypothetical individual working in that position. For instance, they describe a junior PR assistant who's passionate about conveying a positive image for their clients, has experience in supporting senior professionals with strategic PR plans, and is skilled at research and crafting compelling content for various platforms.
It's one thing to read a list of skills, but seeing them in context like that makes all the difference.
hmm
So what's next on this hypothetical career ladder? Tell me about the PR coordinator.
Picture this. You're a highly organized and results-driven individual with a knack for managing media relations and securing significant media coverage for your clients. You excel at crafting press releases and media kits, organizing events, and working collaboratively with different teams to ensure consistent messaging across all platforms. That's the life of a PR coordinator, according to RoleCatcher.
It sounds like a PR coordinator needs to be a master of multitasking, seamlessly juggling various projects and deadlines.
Absolutely. And as you gain experience and move up to the coveted role of public relations manager, the responsibilities become even more strategic and high level.
Okay, now we're talking. Tell me everything RoleCatcher says about being a PR manager. What are the key responsibilities?
They describe a public relations manager as a strategic thinker responsible for developing and implementing comprehensive PR strategies that align with overall business objectives.
So you're not just pitching stories, you're crafting the overarching narrative for the entire organization.
Exactly. You're overseeing media relations, crisis communications, and reputation management. You're managing budgets and mentoring a team of PR professionals.
That's quite a leap from the coordinator role.
Yeah.
So like strong leadership and decision-making skills become essential at this level.
Precisely. And to give you a taste of what this looks like in action, they profile a hypothetical PR manager, a dynamic leader with a proven track record of building a positive brand image. This individual excels at identifying media opportunities, monitoring industry trends, and making informed decisions based on data analysis.
It sounds like a PR manager needs to have their finger on the pulse of their industry, constantly adapting their strategies to stay ahead of the curve. But what about reaching the top? What does RoleCatcher say about becoming a senior public relations manager?
They paint a picture of a visionary leader who sets the strategic direction for all PR initiatives and campaigns. This person has a deep understanding of market research and analysis, excels at building strategic partnerships, and confidently represents the organization at high-level events and conferences.
So not only are they a strategic mastermind, but they're also a compelling communicator and a skilled networker. They're the whole package.
Precisely. RoleCatcher's example highlights a senior PR manager who's seen as a trusted advisor to senior management, especially during times of crisis.
Yeah.
Imagine that you're the one people turn to when everything's on the line.
It's fascinating to see how the demands and responsibilities evolve at each career stage. This RoleCatcher career guide sounds like an incredible resource for anyone interested in exploring the PR landscape. But let's get back to the interview process for a moment. You mentioned that RoleCatcher has a massive database of interview questions. Can you give us a taste of what aspiring PR professionals might encounter?
Absolutely. For a public relations manager, some common questions include, can you tell me about your experience in developing and executing public relations strategies? Or, how do you measure the success of a PR campaign?
Those are great questions that cut right to the chase.
Okay.
Can you think strategically and deliver results? What other types of questions do they have in their database?
They also cover questions related to relationship building, like how do you manage relationships with key stakeholders and media outlets? And of course, they delve into crisis management with questions like, can you provide an example of a crisis communication plan you developed and executed?
Those are all crucial aspects of a PR manager's role. Now, it's one thing to read through these questions, but how does RoleCatcher help you actually prepare for the interview itself?
Well, remember that AI-powered feature I mentioned earlier, RoleCatcher Copilot AI. That comes into play here, too.
Okay, I'm intrigued. How does RoleCatcher Copilot AI work for interview prep?
Imagine this, you're prepping for a PR interview, but instead of just practicing in the mirror, you have AI analyze your body language, your tone, even how clearly you're getting your point across.
It's like having a virtual mock interview with an AI expert.
Precisely. You can record yourself answering common interview questions and then get personalized feedback from RoleCatcher Copilot AI.
What kind of feedback does it provide?
It analyzes your responses for content clarity and even your body language. It might suggest ways to improve your delivery, provide alternative phrasing for certain points, or even recommend relevant examples from your experience to strengthen your answers.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal coach dissecting your every word and movement, and all in a safe and supportive environment.
Exactly. You can practice as many times as you need to until you feel confident and prepared for the real interview. Now let's switch gears for a moment and talk about the industry trends highlighted in the RoleCatcher guide. What are some key takeaways for aspiring PR professionals?
Okay, let's talk trends. What's hot in the world of PR these days?
One of the biggest trends is the increasing importance of digital communication in the PR landscape. Social media, online news platforms, and digital content creation are no longer just buzzwords. They are essential tools for managing public perception.
So gone are the days of simply sending out press releases and hoping for the best.
Exactly. Today's PR professionals need to be adept at crafting engaging content for various online platforms, understanding the nuances of social media algorithms, and effectively monitoring and responding to online sentiment.
It sounds like digital fluency is no longer just a nice-to-have skill. It's a must-have. For anyone serious about a career in PR, what other trends are shaping the industry?
Another key takeaway is the growing emphasis on corporate social responsibility. Companies are increasingly expected to demonstrate their commitment to social and ethical causes, and PR professionals play a crucial role in communicating these efforts to the public.
So it's not just about promoting products or services anymore. It's about building a brand that resonates with consumers' values.
Precisely, PR professionals need to be skilled at crafting narratives that highlight their clients' positive contributions to society, whether it's through sustainability initiatives, charitable giving, or diversity and inclusion programs.
It's fascinating to see how the role of PR is evolving beyond traditional media relations to encompass a much broader spectrum of communication channels and social impact initiatives. What else does RoleCatcher highlight?
The guide also touches upon the increasing importance of data analysis in the PR world.
Data analysis. That makes sense. Data is king in so many industries these days. How is data being used in PR, and what does it mean for aspiring professionals?
Well, for starters, data analysis is crucial for measuring the effectiveness of PR campaigns. By tracking metrics like media mentions, social media engagement, and website traffic, PR professionals can gain insights into what's resonating with their target audiences and what needs to be adjusted.
It's all about making data-driven decisions to optimize their efforts and demonstrate a return on investment.
Exactly. And data analysis is also essential for understanding public sentiment. By monitoring online conversations and social media trends, PR professionals can identify potential issues early on and proactively address them before they escalate into major crises.
It sounds like data analysis is becoming an indispensable tool for proactive reputation management.
Absolutely. For aspiring PR professionals, this means developing at least a basic understanding of data analysis techniques and tools. Even if you don't see yourself becoming a full-fledged data scientist, knowing how to interpret and utilize data will give you a significant advantage in the job market.
That's incredibly valuable advice. It's clear that the PR landscape is constantly evolving, and those who can adapt and embrace new technologies and approaches will be the ones who thrive. Speaking of thriving, what does RoleCatcher have to say about the overall career outlook for PR professionals?
The guide paints a positive picture, highlighting a growing demand for skilled PR professionals in various industries.
That's encouraging to hear. What factors are contributing to this positive outlook?
As companies and organizations of all sizes recognize the increasing importance of building a strong brand reputation and managing their public image in today's digitally driven world, the need for skilled communicators who can navigate this complex landscape is only going to grow.
That makes perfect sense. But with increased demand often comes increased competition. What advice does RoleCatcher offer for standing out in the crowded PR job market?
They emphasize the importance of continuous learning and professional development.
So it's not enough to just have a degree in communications or PR. You need to constantly be updating your skills and knowledge.
Exactly. The PR landscape is ever-changing, with new platforms, technologies, and trends emerging all the time. To stay ahead of the curve, PR professionals need to be lifelong learners, always seeking out opportunities to expand their skill set and stay abreast of the latest industry best practices.
What are some practical ways that aspiring PR professionals can engage in continuous learning?
RoleCatcher highlights several strategies, including taking online courses or workshops on topics like media relations, crisis communications, and social media management.
Those sound incredibly valuable, especially for those who might be transitioning into PR from another field or looking to upskill within their current roles. What other learning opportunities do they recommend?
They also emphasize the importance of attending industry conferences and webinars, networking with other PR professionals, and staying informed about industry news and trends.
It sounds like building a strong professional network is just as important as developing your technical skills.
Absolutely. Networking can provide invaluable insights into the industry, connect you with potential mentors or collaborators, and even lead to exciting job opportunities.
That's fantastic advice for anyone looking to break into or advance within the PR world. But let's talk about a topic that often strikes fear into the hearts of even the most seasoned PR professionals: crisis communication. What insights does RoleCatcher offer on handling those high-pressure situations?
They emphasize the importance of developing a crisis communication plan. Think of it as your roadmap for navigating the storm.
That sounds essential. But what exactly does a crisis communication plan entail, and how can PR professionals ensure they're prepared for the unexpected?
A crisis communication plan is basically a roadmap for how an organization will communicate with its stakeholders in the event of a crisis, which could be anything from a product recall to a natural disaster to a social media firestorm. It outlines key messages, identifies target audiences, and establishes protocols for information dissemination.
So it's about having a clear strategy in place before a crisis hits, so you're not caught off guard and scrambling to react.
Precisely. And it's not something you just create and forget about. It needs to be regularly reviewed, updated, and even tested through simulated crisis scenarios to ensure its effectiveness.
That makes perfect sense. You've always got to be one step ahead.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about career changes. What if someone is considering a career change into PR? What advice does RoleCatcher offer for making that transition as smooth as possible?
They highlight the importance of transferable skills. Even if you don't have direct experience in PR, you might still possess valuable skills from your previous roles that could be applicable to the field.
So you're saying you don't necessarily need a PR background to break into the industry?
Absolutely. Skills like strong writing and communication, project management, problem solving, and even customer service can be incredibly valuable in a PR role.
So it's all about reframing those experiences in a way that highlights their relevance to the PR world.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher actually provides a list of transferable skills that are highly sought after in PR, which can be incredibly helpful for those crafting their resumes and cover letters. It's like they're handing you the keys to the castle.
That's fantastic. It's all about showcasing your skills in a way that resonates with potential employers.
Precisely. And for those making a career transition, RoleCatcher also recommends networking with PR professionals to gain insights into the industry and explore potential opportunities.
Networking is key, no matter what stage you're at in your career. It can open doors you never even knew existed. But let's loop back to those AI-powered features for a sec. We've talked about how RoleCatcher Copilot AI can help you tailor your resume and practice for interviews. But it also offers some really innovative features for optimizing your overall job search strategy, right?
It does. One of the most impressive features is its ability to analyze your online presence and identify potential areas for improvement.
So it's like having a digital makeover for your career.
You could say that RoleCatcher Copilot AI scans your LinkedIn profile, professional websites, and even your public social media accounts to ensure they're presenting a consistent and professional image to potential employers.
That's incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
In today's digital age, your online presence can make or break your job search.
Exactly. And it's not just about looking good online, it's also about optimizing your profiles for search engines. RoleCatcher Copilot AI helps you identify relevant keywords and phrases to include in your profiles, making it more likely for recruiters to find you when they're searching for candidates with your skills and experience. It's like SEO for your career.
That's so smart. What other job search hacks does RoleCatcher Copilot AI have up its sleeve?
One feature I find incredibly valuable is its ability to track job postings across multiple platforms and alert you to new opportunities that match your criteria.
So you no longer have to spend hours scouring job boards and company websites hoping to stumble upon your dream job.
That's right. You simply input your desired job title, location, salary range, and other relevant criteria, and RoleCatcher Copilot AI does the rest, notifying you as soon as new jobs that match your profile are posted.
That's a game changer for anyone who's actively job hunting. It saves so much time and energy.
Absolutely. And it's not just about finding any job, it's about finding the right job. RoleCatcher Copilot AI takes into account your skills, experience, and career goals to curate a list of opportunities that are truly a good fit for you.
That's incredible. It's like having a personal headhunter working tirelessly behind the scenes to connect you with your dream career.
Exactly. And speaking of making connections, RoleCatcher Copilot AI also offers some innovative features for networking.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about these networking features.
One of the most useful features is its ability to identify and connect you with people in your professional network who might be able to help you with your job search.
So it's like LinkedIn on steroids.
You could say that RoleCatcher Copilot AI analyzes your network connections, their current roles, and even their past work experience to identify individuals who might be able to provide valuable insights into your target companies or industries, offer introductions to key decision makers, or even recommend you for open positions.
That's incredibly powerful. It's all about leveraging your network strategically to open doors and create new opportunities.
Exactly. And it's not just about asking for favors, it's about building genuine relationships. RoleCatcher Copilot AI helps you identify common interests and shared connections with people in your network, making it easier to initiate conversations and build rapport. Remember, people want to work with people they know, like, and trust.
Absolutely. And speaking of building trust, RoleCatcher Copilot AI also offers some valuable features for crafting compelling cover letters and application materials.
It's true. A lot of people think cover letters need to be written only by a human, but this tool can really help.
Okay, this AI tool just keeps getting more impressive.
Yeah.
How does it help with cover letters?
RoleCatcher Copilot AI doesn't just spit out generic cover letter templates. It analyzes your skills experience and the specific requirements of the job you're applying for to help you craft a cover letter that highlights your most relevant qualifications and showcases your unique voice and personality.
So it's more about providing guidance and inspiration than just churning out cookie-cutter content.
Exactly. RoleCatcher Copilot AI acts as a writing assistant, helping you articulate your value proposition in a clear, concise, and compelling way.
That's fantastic. It takes the stress out of writing cover letters and helps you put your best foot forward. And if you're anything like me, you need all the help you can get when it comes to grammar and spelling. Does it do that too?
It does. RoleCatcher Copilot AI also offers grammar and spell check features. It helps you put your best foot forward in every aspect of your job search, from optimizing your online presence to crafting compelling application materials to acing your interviews. It's like having a personal branding expert on call 24/7.
It sounds like an invaluable tool for anyone who's serious about taking their career to the next level.
I couldn't agree more. Whether you're just starting out in your career looking to make a change or aiming for that next promotion, RoleCatcher Copilot AI provides the guidance, support, and resources you need to succeed in today's competitive job market.
It's been fascinating exploring the world of RoleCatcher and all the resources they offer for PR professionals. But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to the guide's insights on the core skills needed to excel in this field. We've touched on the importance of digital fluency, data analysis, and adaptability, but what other qualities are essential for success in the PR world?
They highlight the significance of strong ethical values.
That makes perfect sense. PR is all about building trust and credibility both for yourself and your clients.
Exactly. PR professionals are often entrusted with sensitive information and need to exercise discretion and sound judgment in their decision-making. Integrity is paramount in this field.
Absolutely. So it's not just about being a smooth talker, it's about being trustworthy and ethical. What else does RoleCatcher emphasize?
The guide also emphasizes the importance of creativity and innovation.
So it's not just about following a script. It's about thinking outside the box and coming up with fresh ideas to capture attention and generate buzz.
Precisely. The best PR professionals are natural storytellers who can craft compelling narratives that resonate with their target audiences. They're also strategic thinkers who can anticipate challenges and develop creative solutions to overcome them. It's a perfect blend of left brain and right brain thinking.
Absolutely. Now we can't forget about people skills. Those must be crucial in PR, right?
You're right. Strong interpersonal skills are a must. Whether it's cultivating relationships with journalists, pitching stories to media outlets, or collaborating with internal teams and external partners, PR professionals need to be adept at building rapport, communicating effectively, and navigating complex interpersonal dynamics.
It sounds like a role that requires a unique combination of strategic thinking, creative flair, and exceptional people skills. But you know what? I think we've given our listeners a lot to digest already.
We have covered a lot of ground.
Let's take a breather here and come back to some of these big ideas in a bit.
Sounds like a plan.
Now, we've talked a lot about the human side of PR, but what about the role of AI in all of this? Will robots be taking over press conferences soon?
It's a question a lot of people are asking. RoleCatcher actually addresses this head on. They see AI as a powerful tool that enhances our capabilities, not replaces them.
So it's less about humans versus robots and more about humans working alongside robots. Kind of like a dynamic PR duo.
Exactly. Imagine AI taking over those tedious, time-consuming tasks like data crunching, media monitoring, freeing you up to focus on what humans excel at: strategy, creativity, building those all-important relationships.
That's a much more optimistic outlook. So instead of fearing AI PR pros should be embracing it.
Absolutely. Those who can learn and adapt to these new technologies will have a serious leg up in the job market. And that's where RoleCatcher's emphasis on continuous learning comes into play again. It's not just about learning how to use the tools, it's about understanding how they're changing the entire PR landscape.
Can you give me an example? How exactly is AI changing the game?
Think about it. AI can analyze massive amounts of data to spot trends, even predict consumer behavior in ways that humans just can't. It's like having a crystal ball that predicts the future of public perception.
Oh yeah, that's kind of mind-blowing. So as a PR pro, you need to know how to interpret those AI insights and turn them into targeted campaigns.
Precisely. It's about combining human intuition and creativity with the power of AI. That's the winning formula for PR success in the future.
You've painted a pretty exciting picture of the future of PR. It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of communication, right?
Definitely. And speaking of opportunities, there's one more aspect of RoleCatcher's resources that I think is pure gold: their insights on job searching in the digital age.
Okay, we've talked about AI and robots, but what's so different about job hunting today compared to, say, a decade ago?
Well, the internet has totally revolutionized how people find jobs. Job boards, online networking platforms, company websites, these are the new battlegrounds of the job search.
So those days of printing out stacks of resumes and hand-delivering them are long gone.
Pretty much. While in-person networking and referrals are still valuable, the vast majority of job applications live online now. And that means a killer online presence isn't just an option, it's mandatory.
We touched on that earlier with personal branding, but it's worth repeating. Your online presence is often that crucial first impression. What's RoleCatcher's advice for building a strong online brand?
They're big on having a professional LinkedIn profile. Think of it as your digital resume. Make sure it's up to date, packed with relevant keywords, and showcases your skills in a way that grabs attention.
It's also the perfect place to position yourself as a thought leader, right? Share articles, comment on industry trends, jump into those group discussions.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about personal websites or online portfolios.
Those are great for showcasing work samples, testimonials. They add a personal touch that a resume just can't capture.
Right. Exactly. It helps you stand out from the crowd and gives potential employers a richer sense of who you are and what you bring to the table.
So beyond crafting that killer online presence, what other job hunting gems does RoleCatcher offer?
Tailoring your resume and cover letter to each specific job is huge.
So no more generic resumes and cover letters for every position.
Right. Take the time to really understand the job description, see what skills the employer is looking for, and then tailor your materials to highlight those specific qualifications.
That's like you're speaking directly to their needs. What else?
Networking, networking, networking. We can't stress that enough on the deep dive.
It's all about building those genuine connections.
Absolutely. Go to industry events, connect with people on LinkedIn, reach out for informational interviews. You never know what doors might open.
And don't forget those thank you notes after interviews. A little gesture goes a long way.
Definitely. And here's a big one. Don't get discouraged if you don't land your dream job right away. Job hunting can be a marathon, not a sprint.
That's so important. It's easy to get discouraged, but resilience is key.
Exactly. Stay positive, stay persistent, and stay open to new possibilities. You never know what's around the corner.
Now, we've talked a lot about the practicalities of landing a PR job, but let's zoom out for a moment. I'm curious, how do you envision AI shaping the future of how PR professionals actually do their jobs in the years to come?
That's a great question. One area where I see AI having a huge impact is in media monitoring and analysis.
Which is absolutely essential in PR, right?
Yeah.
You need to have your finger on the pulse of what people are saying.
Exactly. AI-powered tools can track media mentions across a mind-boggling number of channels: news websites, social media blogs, forums, you name it. But here's where it gets really interesting. AI can analyze that data for sentiment.
So it's not just about knowing what's being said, but understanding the emotion behind it.
Precisely. This is invaluable for reputation management. You can identify potential crises early on and get ahead of the curve.
So AI becomes your early warning system. That's pretty amazing. What about crafting messages? Surely that's still a human domain.
You're right, crafting compelling messages requires a human touch. But AI can help us be much more targeted and effective.
How so?
AI can analyze demographics, psychographics, even past engagement metrics to determine what messages, what channels, even what tone of voice will resonate best with specific audiences.
It's like having a team of marketing psychologists working behind the scenes to optimize your communications.
Exactly. And that kind of personalization is crucial in today's world where everyone's bombarded with messages from every direction. You need to cut through the noise.
Make your message stand out. What about media relations? How is AI changing that game?
AI can help streamline those often tedious tasks, identifying relevant journalists, tracking their recent articles, even personalizing pitches.
Wow, it's like having a digital assistant doing all the legwork for you. That frees you up to focus on the human side of things, building relationships, and crafting those compelling stories.
Exactly. It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Now, with all this talk of AI revolutionizing PR, are you ever concerned that it might replace human jobs altogether?
There's always resistance to change, but I think it's more about evolution than replacement. Those who embrace AI and develop the skills to work alongside it will be the ones who thrive.
So it's about adaptation, not fear.
Exactly. This is where those continuous learning resources from platforms like RoleCatcher become even more valuable. They're equipping PR pros to navigate this new landscape.
We talked about personal branding earlier, but I want to dive a bit deeper. In this digital age, it feels like everyone's trying to build their own personal brand. What makes a PR pro's brand stand out?
You're right, it's a crowded space. For PR pros, it's about more than just having a large following. It's about showcasing expertise and credibility in a specific niche.
So finding your lane and owning it.
Exactly. What are you truly passionate about within the PR world? What unique insights can you offer? That's what will make you stand out from the crowd.
So how does one go about building that kind of expertise-driven brand?
It's about consistently sharing valuable content. Think blog posts, articles, speaking engagements, even LinkedIn posts. Establish yourself as a thought leader in your niche.
Be the go-to person for your specific area of expertise.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to let your personality shine through. Authenticity is key.
Especially in PR, where relationships are so important. People want to work with people they connect with.
Exactly. Be yourself, be engaging, be memorable.
Now let's talk about something everyone wants to know. Salary expectations. What's the financial landscape look like for PR professionals? Give us the inside scoop.
Like any career, it varies based on experience, location, industry, company size, but RoleCatcher provides some helpful benchmarks. According to their data, the average salary for a public relations manager in the United States is around $75,000 per year.
That's a pretty solid starting point. And of course, with more experience and a track record of success, that number can go up significantly.
Absolutely. And certain industries like technology or healthcare tend to offer higher salaries for PR pros due to the specialized knowledge required.
It makes sense. The more specialized your skill set, the more you can command in the job market. But it's not always about the money, right? What about the less glamorous side of PR?
It's definitely not all glitz and glamour, that's for sure. PR can be demanding, fast-paced, and at times quite stressful.
Long hours, tight deadlines, and always being on. It takes a certain kind of person to thrive in that environment.
You've got to be able to handle pressure, juggle multiple projects, and be comfortable with public speaking. But for those who are passionate about communication and building relationships, it's an incredibly rewarding career.
There's nothing quite like seeing your hard work pay off in a successful campaign or a positive shift in public perception.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, PR is about making a positive impact, whether it's building trust in a brand, advocating for a cause, or simply helping people understand complex issues. It's a profession with real purpose.
That's a powerful reminder. Now, we've touched on this throughout our conversation, but I want to circle back to the topic of ethics in PR. It's something that often comes up, especially given the industry's reputation for spin.
It's true, ethics are absolutely paramount in PR, perhaps more so than in many other professions.
Why is that? What makes ethics so crucial in this particular field?
Well, think about it. PR professionals are essentially in the business of building trust and credibility. We're the bridge between our clients and their stakeholders, and that relationship hinges on transparency, honesty, and ethical behavior.
So it's not just about spinning a good story. It's about telling the truth, even when it's difficult.
Exactly. It's about being an advocate for our clients, but doing so in a way that's ethical and responsible.
Can you give me some examples of ethical dilemmas that PR pros might face?
Sure. Imagine being asked to promote a product or service that you don't personally believe in. That's a tough one. Or dealing with a client who wants to suppress negative information, even if it's true.
Those are tricky situations to navigate. How do you balance professional obligations with personal values in those instances?
It takes courage and a strong moral compass. Sometimes it might even mean walking away from a client or a campaign if it compromises your values.
Standing up for what you believe in, even when it's tough, I admire that. What about the digital age? Has that brought about new ethical challenges?
Absolutely. In the age of social media, where information spreads like wildfire, there's a fine line between ethical persuasion and spreading misinformation.
It's so easy for things to go viral, even if
Ooh.
they're not true.
Exactly. PR pros need to be incredibly mindful of the information they're putting out there. Accuracy and transparency are more important than ever.
So it's not just about getting your client's message out there, it's about doing so ethically and responsibly.
Precisely. It requires a deep understanding of ethical principles, coupled with the ability to make sound judgments in challenging situations.
It sounds like a heavy responsibility, but a crucial one.
Absolutely. Ethics are at the very core of PR, and those who uphold the highest ethical standards are not only more likely to have successful careers, but they also help elevate the entire profession.
It's about building a better future for PR, one ethical decision at a time. Now, we can't talk about PR without acknowledging its global reach. What are some unique challenges and rewards of working in international PR?
One of the biggest challenges is navigating cultural differences. What flies in one culture might be a major faux pas in another. Humor tone, even body language can vary widely.
It's like learning a whole new language, but for communication itself.
Exactly. It's about being culturally sensitive and adapting your approach to resonate with different audiences.
It sounds like a constant learning curve. What about the rewards?
Oh, they're immense. Imagine experiencing new cultures, broadening your horizons, and gaining a global perspective, all while building your career.
It's like getting paid to travel the world.
In a way, yes. You get to work with diverse clients on fascinating projects, all while immersing yourself in different cultures. It's incredibly enriching, both personally and professionally.
Before we move on, I want to touch on something we haven't discussed much yet: measurement and evaluation.
Hmm.
In the world of PR, how do you actually measure success?
That's a great question. It's not enough to just execute PR campaigns. We need to demonstrate their value. And that means measuring results.
So it's not just about getting your client's name in the headlines, it's about showing how that translates into tangible outcomes.
Exactly. Whether it's increased brand awareness, website traffic leads generated, or ultimately sales, we need to demonstrate a return on investment for our clients.
What kind of tools and metrics do you use to measure the impact of a PR campaign?
We track media mentions, social media engagement, website traffic, even changes in public sentiment.
It's about gathering data from various sources to get a holistic view of the campaign's effectiveness.
Absolutely. And then we analyze that data to figure out what worked, what didn't, and how to improve future campaigns.
It's all about continuous improvement. Now, let's wrap up with a look into the future. What key trends and innovations are shaping the future of PR?
Well, we've talked about AI, and that's definitely a big one. But another major trend is personalization.
Right. In today's world, it's all about cutting through the noise and reaching the right people with the right message at the right time.
Exactly. PR pros need to be data savvy and understand how to segment audiences and personalize messages for maximum impact.
Data is king. What other innovations are you excited about?
One thing that's really interesting is the rise of new technologies like virtual reality and augmented reality.
VR and AR and PR, how does that work?
Imagine creating immersive experiences for your audiences. Virtual press conferences, interactive product demos, behind-the-scenes tours. The possibilities are endless.
That's next-level engagement. It sounds like the PR industry is becoming increasingly tech-driven.
It is, and that's a good thing. By embracing these new technologies, PR professionals can reach new audiences, tell stories in more engaging ways, and demonstrate the value of their work more effectively than ever before.
It's an exciting time to be in PR, that's for sure. Now let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something that's close to my heart: the power of storytelling in PR.
Storytelling is everything in PR. It's the heart and soul of what we do.
Why is storytelling so important in PR?
Because stories are how we connect with people on an emotional level. They make us feel something, and that's what makes them memorable and impactful.
It's not just about conveying information. It's about creating an experience for the audience.
Exactly. And in a world that's saturated with information, it's the stories that cut through the noise and capture our attention.
So how can PR pros become better storytellers?
It starts with understanding your audience and what resonates with them. What are their hopes, their dreams, their fears? Once you understand that, you can start crafting stories that connect with them on a deeper level.
It's about finding those human truths that we can all relate to.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to be creative, to experiment with different formats, and to think outside the box.
So it's not just about press releases and media kits anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Think about using video podcasts, even interactive experiences, to tell your stories in engaging and memorable ways.
It's about finding the right medium for the right message.
Exactly. And don't forget about the importance of authenticity. People can spot a fake a mile away, so make sure your stories are genuine and reflect your brand's values.
Be relatable, and be true to yourself and your brand.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to show vulnerability. Sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that reveal our shared humanity.
Now let's talk about something that I know is on a lot of people's minds these days, the changing media landscape.
It's changing faster than ever before.
With the decline of traditional media and the rise of social media influencers and online publications, how are PR professionals adapting?
It's definitely a more fragmented and complex landscape, but it also presents a lot of exciting opportunities.
Yeah.
PR pros need to be agile, adaptable, and always willing to learn new skills.
So it's no longer enough to just have relationships with journalists at major newspapers and magazines.
Right. Today, you need to be building relationships with bloggers, podcasters, YouTubers, social media influencers, anyone who has an audience and influence in your industry.
It's about building a network that reflects the diversity of today's media landscape.
Exactly. And you need to understand the nuances of each platform. What works on Instagram might not work on LinkedIn, and what resonates with a Gen Z audience might fall flat with baby boomers.
It sounds like a lot to keep up with. Any advice for aspiring PR pros on how to navigate this changing media landscape?
Stay curious. Be a voracious consumer of media yourself. Follow industry trends, experiment with different platforms, and don't be afraid to reach out and connect with people who are doing innovative work.
It's all about being a lifelong learner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And remember, building relationships takes time and effort, so be patient, be persistent, and always be building your network.
Great advice. Now let's talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, personal branding. In today's digital age, it's more important than ever for PR professionals to build a strong personal brand.
Absolutely. Your personal brand is your most valuable asset in the PR world.
What are some of the key things that PR pros should keep in mind when building their personal brand?
Well, first and foremost, you need to be authentic.
Be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not.
Exactly. People can spot a phony a mile away, so be genuine, be transparent, and let your personality shine through.
What else?
You need to be consistent.
Consistency is key in any aspect of life, but especially when you're building a brand.
Exactly. Show up regularly, whether it's on social media or your blog or at industry events.
Be the person that people can count on to deliver valuable insights and perspectives.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to be a little vulnerable.
Show your human side.
People connect with people, so don't be afraid to share your story, your struggles, and your triumphs.
Be relatable, be authentic, and be yourself. What about social media? It's such a powerful tool for personal branding, but it can also be a double-edged sword.
That's for sure. Social media can be a fantastic way to build your brand, but you need to use it strategically.
What are some of your top tips for using social media effectively for personal branding?
Well, first and foremost, you need to be active and engaged.
No ghosting.
Exactly. Respond to comments, participate in conversations, and share your own insights and perspectives.
Be a valuable member of the community.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to show your personality.
Let your freak flag fly.
Exactly. People want to connect with people, not robots.
So be yourself, be engaging, and be consistent.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to use a little humor.
Humor is a great way to connect with people and make your brand more memorable.
Absolutely. But at the same time, it's important to be professional.
Right. Remember, you're building a personal brand, but it's still a professional brand.
Exactly. So be mindful of your tone, your language, and the content you're sharing.
Make sure it's something that you'd be proud to have a potential client or employer see.
Absolutely. And speaking of potential clients and employers, make sure your social media profiles are up to date and reflect your current brand and career goals.
That's such an important point. Your social media profiles are often the first thing that people will look at when they're researching you, so make sure they're making a good impression.
Exactly. And don't forget to link to your website, your portfolio, and any other relevant online properties.
Make it easy for people to find out more about you and what you do.
Absolutely. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask for what you want.
Put yourself out there.
Exactly. If you're looking for a new job, let people know. If you're trying to grow your network, reach out and connect with people.
Don't be shy. The worst thing that can happen is that they say no.
Exactly. But you never know what opportunities might arise if you don't ask.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground today, from the essential skills and evolving trends in the PR industry to the importance of personal branding and the ethical considerations that come with the territory. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a few key takeaways to ponder.
Sounds like a plan.
First and foremost, the PR landscape is constantly evolving, so it's crucial to stay informed, adapt to new technologies, and never stop learning.
I couldn't agree more. And remember, your network is your net worth. Building strong relationships with fellow PR professionals, journalists, and industry influencers can open doors to exciting opportunities and provide invaluable support throughout your career.
Those are fantastic points. And lastly, don't underestimate the power of personal branding. In today's digital age, your online presence is often the first impression you make on potential employers and clients.
That's so true. Take the time to cultivate a professional online presence that showcases your skills, experience, and thought leadership.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of public relations, and I hope our listeners have found it both informative and inspiring. But as always, there's much more to explore, and we encourage you to check out RoleCatcher's website for a wealth of resources on this and many other career paths.
And don't forget to explore their AI-powered tools, especially RoleCatcher Copilot AI, which can provide personalized guidance and support throughout your job search and career development journey.
Until next time, happy networking, and may your pitches always be perfectly crafted. It's amazing how much the PR landscape has changed even in just the past few years.
It really is a testament to the power of technology and the ever-evolving ways we communicate.
And speaking of communication, we've talked a lot about the tools and strategies, but at its core, PR is about connecting with people, right? Building relationships and fostering understanding.
Absolutely. It's about crafting narratives that resonate, building trust, and engaging in meaningful conversations. It's about using our voices to make a positive impact.
Now, that's a powerful thought. As we wrap up this deep dive into the world of public relations, I want to leave you with this. We've explored the skills, the trends, the challenges, and the incredible opportunities in this field. But ultimately, it's up to each of us to use this knowledge responsibly and ethically.
I couldn't agree more. The future of PR is about more than just getting our clients' messages out there. It's about building a world where communication is a force for good.
It's about using our powers for good, just like superheroes of the communication world. On that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. It's been an absolute pleasure exploring the dynamic world of PR with you.
The feeling is mutual. It's been a fascinating conversation.
To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you've gained valuable insights and feel inspired to unlock your own PR potential.
And remember, the world needs skilled and ethical communicators now more than ever.
Absolutely. So go out there and make your voice heard. Until next time, this is The Deep Dive signing off.